Okay, so today is the first of our series on stress. So I'm just going to give a quick little overview of what we're going to talk about over the next few weeks. Today, we're going to talk about fight or flight, and specifically, we're going to talk about your adrenal glands and how all of that works together. Next week, we're going to talk about stress and digestion. Then we're going to talk about lifestyle and how that affects your stress and how that can relieve stress and all the things. We're going to talk about self-care with the tagline, it's more than a pedicure, is what I put in there. And then we're going to talk about some other stress relieving techniques. So maybe the last 2-3 weeks will kind of be combined together as I start putting things together. But this is what we're going to talk about today, the fight or flight and the adrenal fatigue. So what is stress? Stress is the body's reaction to harmful situations, whether they're real or perceived. When you feel threatened, a chemical reaction occurs in your body that allows you to act in a way to prevent injury. The reaction is known as fight or flight, or the stress response. During this stress response, your heart rate increases, breathing quickens, muscles tighten, and blood pressure rises. You've gotten ready to act, and now it's time to protect yourself. Stress means different things to different people. What causes stress in one person may be of little concern to another. Some people are better able to handle stress than others, and not all stress is bad. In some doses, stress can help you accomplish tasks and prevent you from getting hurt. For example, stress is what you get to slam on the brakes to avoid hitting a car in front of you, and that's a good thing. Our bodies are designed to handle small doses of stress, but we're not equipped to handle long-term chronic stress without consequences. So what are some of the symptoms of stress? Stress can affect every aspect of your life, including your emotions, your behaviors, your thinking ability, and your physical health. No part of the body is immune, but because people handle stress differently, symptoms of stress can vary. Some of the emotional symptoms of stress can include becoming easily agitated, frustrated, and moody, feeling overwhelmed like you're losing control or need to take control, having difficulty relaxing and quieting your mind, feeling bad about yourself or having low self-esteem, feeling lonely, worthless, or depressed, and avoiding others. Some physical symptoms of stress include low energy, headaches, upset stomach, including diarrhea, constipation, and nausea, aches and pains and tense muscles, chest pain and rapid heartbeat, insomnia, frequent colds and infection, loss of sexual desire and or ability, nervousness and shaking, ringing in the ear, cold, sweaty hands and feet, dry mouth and difficulty swallowing, clenched jaw and grinding teeth. Cognitive symptoms of stress include constant worrying, racing thoughts, forgetfulness and disorganization, inability to focus, poor judgment, being pessimistic, or seeing only the negative side of things. And some of the behavioral symptoms of stress include changes in appetite, either not eating or eating too much, procrastination and avoiding responsibilities, increased use of alcohol, drugs, or cigarettes, inhibiting more nervous behaviors such as nail biting, fidgeting, and peace. So sometimes when I have clients that come to me, they're like, I have no stress, but then we go through this health assessment or this success tracker and like everything's like a 10, and I'm like, then there's stress, right? Like they're saying that stress is a 0, but everything else is like a 10. I'm like, that means there's stress somewhere. So sometimes we don't think of stress as like, oh, I'm in a fight with my husband, because stress can be emotional, it can be physical. There are so many different things that can be happening that we're sometimes not aware of that's causing stress in our body. But if you're having issues with your health, you're having inflammation, you're having headaches, you're having, digestive issues, stress is involved in some way, shape, or form. So your adrenal glands are probably one of the most crucial organs to affect your mental health. And they're situated above your kidneys. I love how I'm pointing, like you can see that. But anyway, to help you cope with stress by producing chemicals such as cortisol, which is our stress hormone, norepinephrine, and adrenaline. So during stressful times, your adrenal glands go into overdrive and release these chemicals in large amounts, causing many physical symptoms. Okay, so your heart beats faster, your breathing increases, sugar releases into your blood for more energy, and blood flow increases to your muscles and brain to give them more oxygen and energy. This keeps your body and brain alert and ready for action. This state is also known as the fight or flight response, which human and other animals develop as a primal response to threats and fear, as this primal response still kicks in when we experience stress today. So whether you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger and need to get into safety, or you're stuck in a traffic jam, this thing is still happening, right? Your body doesn't really know the difference. So unfortunately, in today's world, we're under constant stress from work, phone calls, bills, deadlines, traffic, loud noises, computer vibrations, relationships, unresolved emotions, high cost of living, late night, and other pressures of life. Your body does not distinguish this form of stress from the threat of an animal coming to eat you. It's all about survival. We never have the chance to switch it off. So constant stress is unnatural for a body to experience, and it drives our adrenal glands to exhaustion. Other issues also lead to adrenal burnout: poor diet, lack of exercise, long-term coffee use, as I'm drinking my coffee. There's cinnamate in it though. High sugar intake, poor stress management, environmental toxicity, and heavy metal toxicity. Adrenal burnout and adrenal fatigue is now one of the most common ailments in society today, and it's likely to lead to a cause of some of the most chronic health issues, including anxiety and depression, chronic fatigue, poor immunity, heart disease, insomnia, low sexual performance and interest, and thyroid problems. And the list could probably go on and on and on, really. So with adrenal stress, your body goes through various phases. The first two, called the alarm and adaptation phase, or when the cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine are produced in the large amounts continuously to help us cope with stress. So when we have prolonged stress, your adrenal glands do not switch off, and those high levels of cortisol are continuously being produced and pumped into your bloodstream. High amounts of cortisol suppress those feel-good hormones like dopamine and serotonin and melatonin, which help you sleep. This can cause anxiety, increased fears, palpitations, lack of sleep, a general cause of unease. They also cause blood sugar imbalances, and that's why you're going to have more cravings for sugar and carbohydrates, or you're going to want more stimulants like coffee. The last phase is known as the exhaustion phase, where your adrenal glands are completely burnt out and can't regulate the production of hormones. The level of hormone cycle is properly during the day and night. So our bodies are meant to spike certain hormones during the day and spike certain ones at night, right? And those are significantly low or decreased during this time. This leads to things like depression, chronic fatigue, difficulty concentrating, insomnia, procrastination, low motivation, blood sugar imbalances, and chronic illness. During adrenal fatigue, your body's ability to cope with stress is significantly reduced, and this means that the smallest amount of stress can make you feel anxious, or and the emotional reactions you normally have in a small situation, right? So normally things that might make me super anxious is like almost getting hit by a car, being hit by a car. But now it's little things like my kid yelling in the house, right? Just being a kid, right? At this point. And that's not normally a normal reaction, but when you are in absolute adrenal exhaustion, the littlest things that wouldn't normally like just bring you this anxiety or this stress, now they do. So your adrenal glands regulate your blood sugar, your immune function, your sex hormones, salt and electrolyte balance, and many other functions in the body. So adrenal fatigue is therefore also related to problems such as decreased immunity, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, frequent colds, hormonal imbalance, and chronic disease. Because of hormonal imbalance, it's not uncommon to see women with emotional issues suffering from irregular periods, painful sex, premenstrual syndrome, fibroids, ovarian cysts, and other hormonal related conditions. The interconnectedness between your overall well-being and stress is evident once again, right? All right, so let's talk a little bit about melatonin, sleep, and your adrenals, AKA stress, how that works in your body. So melatonin is a hormone that's essential for sleep as it helps your body calm down. So melatonin levels naturally rise at night, and your body requires darkness to increase its production. So in the morning, your body produces more cortisol. That's like, wake up, let's get things going, right? And so when you have excess cortisol in your body all day long, that reduces your body's ability to make melatonin. So the cortisol should decrease at night and the melatonin should rise and increase in levels. But when you have adrenal stress, your cortisol levels often remain high at night, preventing that melatonin level from increasing, which interferes with your sleep. So poor sleep patterns exacerbate anxiety and depression because your body never gets enough rest to recover from stress. And as these sleep patterns worsen, so does the adrenal fatigue, which worsens sleep patterns, depression, anxiety, and other issues. And it's this vicious cycle, right? And so I know this comes up a lot. People will be like, okay, well, I'm just going to take like an over-the-counter melatonin pill to help me sleep. Well, those can be addictive, right? So that doesn't actually help your body and your brain produce melatonin. It's just an artificial melatonin in your body. So then you become reliant on that melatonin to sleep. So short term, like let's say I'm going to travel from here to Europe and I have a business meeting the day after I get there. Yeah, I probably need to take some melatonin to sleep to kind of get used to the, sleeping pill to get used to things right away. But taking it on a regular basis all the time only exacerbates this whole issue, okay? Because it's not actually regulating or fixing the problem, if that makes sense. Oh, what just happened? Did I miss a page? Oh, there we go. Okay. So there are certain nutrients like vitamin B5, vitamin B6, vitamin C, and zinc that are essential for adrenal gland health. These nutrients are also essential for the production of neurotransmitters and hormones in your body and the proper functioning of all of your organs. Your adrenal glands use up a lot of these nutrients during chronic stress, causing a decline in neurotransmitter production and a decline in your organ's ability to function well. So this definitely takes a toll on your emotional and physical health. So without adequate nutrition, your adrenal glands are no longer capable of coping with stress. So even normal experiences or small amounts of stress begin to feel overwhelming, and you're likely to experience anxiety and depression. So just like if you're not making sleep a priority, that causes stress in your life. And then stress can lead to a lack of sleep. It's like this vicious cycle, right? Same with nutrition. If you're not getting the right nutrients to feed those adrenal glands the way you need to, you're causing stress on your body. But also when you have high stress in your body, it's depleting these nutrients, causing nutrient deficiencies. So both is kind of like which came first, the chicken or the egg, you know what I mean? Because they're both super important. And we don't think about the fact of like, I'm not making sleep a priority, that's causing stress on my body, or I'm not eating the right nutrients, that's causing stress on my body. We usually don't think about that. We think about like, oh, my job is super stressful. We don't think about these things. But one of the things I look at is when I'm doing tests with clients and I'm looking at nutritional deficiencies is I'm looking for these things because they may say, like I'll say on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed are you? And they'll be like, oh, like a 2. But then these are totally out of balance. This tells me that they're either A, not consuming these foods, or B, their adrenal glands are super stressed and they're using up these nutrients like crazy, and your body isn't using it the way it needs to, if that makes sense. So I can tell that their body is under a lot of stress if they have these nutrient deficiencies. So how do we treat the adrenal glands? Whenever someone has exhausted their adrenal glands, we need to start by helping them resolve traumatic or stressful emotional experiences. So unresolved emotions continuously over time stress your adrenal glands out at an unconscious level and degrade emotional well-being. Even if you're taking adrenal nourishing herbs and nutritional supplements and you're eating right. So resolving the traumatic, stressful experiences allow your adrenal glands to finally get back from your unconscious stress mind. And I think we can all experience, as much as maybe I speak for myself, where I'm like, my herbs are going to fix it all. It doesn't, right? That's why you have to do the other work, right? I've done some tapping. I've done EMDR in the past. Of course, I will work with Corinne and do some energy work. All of that stuff is really important, because we can't just expect to take like one adaptable every day and all of our stress goes away, unfortunately. Like, it helps, but it's not like everything, right? So we've got to address the emotional side and do the other things as well. So here are kind of some healthy habits to help preserve your adrenal glands and prevent further exhaustion. So I'm all about like building healthy habits at one at a time. So if you're looking at this and you're like, I got to do all 10 of these things tomorrow, you're probably going to cause more stress on your body, right? So what's one or two you can start doing and start incorporating as a habit into your life to start bringing that stress down and start balancing out those adrenal glands? So avoiding a stressful lifestyle habits. Okay, if you're somebody that's literally drinking coffee all day long, I allow myself 1 cup, but when I was teaching, I literally drank it all day long, okay? High sugar diets, recreational drugs, excessive alcohol, late nights, stressful jobs, those all deplete your adrenal glands, okay? Is there any of these lifestyle things that you're like, you know what? I need to start eliminating that or reducing those things that you have control over. Definitely reducing inflammation and inflammatory foods in your diet, because inflammation in your body causes stress on your adrenal glands to make more cortisol in order to control the inflammation. Taking in omega fatty acid, or even just, eating enough things like salmon in your diet. I really should do that. My brother is a chef and he did a video the other day on salmon, and I was like, so can you just come over and make that for me 2 or 3 times a week? That would be great. He goes, I just made a 15-minute video showing you how to cook it. And I was like, it'd be better if you did it, but I'm a brat. But that's really, really healthy to be getting those omega-3s, because it impairs and improves the function of your adrenal glands. So going to bed around 10 o'clock every night, that means lights out. That doesn't mean crawl into bed and look at your phone or watch TV. But when we have a consistent bedtime and we're going to bed, we start to train our body. Okay, 10 o'clock is bedtime, 9 o'clock or whatever it is. And we start getting up roughly around the same time every day. And we're making sleep a priority, where we're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep. At first, if you're not used to that, it's going to take time to get used to that. You're going to have to train your body to get used to that. But over time, that becomes a routine that your body gets used to. And that's going to help reduce stress, because we know that all of your body's repair happens while you're sleeping. So if you're not getting enough sleep, then you're putting stress on your body, because your body isn't doing any of the repair it needs for anything in your body. Keeping a regular routine in general. So your adrenal glands release specific hormones at specific times a day, and they follow a 24-hour cycle. And they're really sensitive to when you eat food, when you rest, when you exercise, when you sleep. Keeping your work, exercise, and meal times regular ensure that this cycle is maintained, because when you're sporadically eating, or you're sporadically going to bed at all these different times, or one day I'm going to exercise at 9 a.m., the next day I'm going to exercise at 3 p.m., especially if you're dealing with adrenal fatigue, it's going to throw that rhythm out of whack and out of balance. Eating regular meals with high amounts of protein and green vegetables compared to smaller amounts of refined carbohydrates and sugar. exercise, meditation, and doing yoga and breathing exercises daily. And you can even turn to treatments like acupuncture, acupressure, reflexology, massage therapy, all of which help lower stress and improve your health. So during stress, the amount of nutrients normally found in food is not enough to meet the demands of your adrenal glands and restore them back to health. So using nutritional supplements, which contain high amounts of nutrients, in addition to eating healthy food, is necessary to cope with stress and ensure a more complete recovery. So foods such as avocados, potatoes, bananas, chicken, peaches, cantaloupe, salmon, tuna, lima beans, and dried apricots nourish your adrenal glands. Vitamins B1, 2, 5, 6, and 12 nourish your adrenal glands and should be used together. Vitamin B5 is called the anti-stress vitamin and is one of the best B vitamins for adrenal health. Stress, alcohol, excessive sugar consumption, and excessive caffeine deplete your body of those essential B vitamins. Vitamin C is crucial for nourishing your adrenal glands, improves your immunity, and reduces the damage caused by stress in your body. Depending on the severity of your condition, vitamin C can also be dosed to higher than 1,000 milligrams twice or 3 times a day. But having too much vitamin C can cause loose stools, so you're going to want to maybe check with a professional about how much you should be taking or monitor that. But some foods that are high in vitamin C include oranges, grapefruit, kiwi fruit, limes, and berries. Healthy fats from things like avocados, fish, chicken are nourishing to your adrenal glands, and healthy oils such as coconut oil and have both omega-3s and omega-6. Those are also from fish, nuts, seeds, but they calm and rebuild your nervous system, reducing mental confusion and improve your mental clarity. And zinc is one of the most essential nutrients for your adrenal glands, and it is at its highest concentration in your adrenal glands. Zinc strengthens your immunity, reduces fatigue, and has a calming effect on the body. Zinc also helps with absorbing B vitamins and has also produced various adrenal gland hormones. So when we look at all of these nutrients and all of these vitamins, all of these things are in our Soul Naturals products, but we also want to be getting these from the foods that we're eating, right? We don't want to just rely on a supplement to get all of our vitamins, right? It's great to supplement because a lot of our food is depleted, or there's other reasons learned, like certain stress can deplete some of these vitamins and nutrients, but also putting these into your food sources. Okay, so herbal medicines have been used for a variety of ways. There are herbs that temporarily relieve anxiety or elevate your mood. And there are herbs that nourish your adrenal glands, cleanse your liver, and heal your digestive system. Using herbs that nourish your adrenal glands, cleanse your liver, and heal your digestive system is an approach that provides us with long-term care and not a short-term fix. Adrenal nourishing herbs are considered adaptogens, and some adaptogens rejuvenate your adrenal glands more than others. So I could have gone on and on and on about a lot more, but I kind of just focused on 3. Rhodiola nourishes your adrenal glands and restores balance between your adrenal glands and your brain, hypothalamus, and the pituitary gland. Rhodiola is a deep-acting herb that provides long-term yet gentle strengthening for your adrenal glands, and it is a great herb to lift you out of a depression and alleviate anxiety that stems from stress and exhaustion. It also increases your endurance during times of stress. Rhodiola is one of the best herbs to help you restore neurotransmitter balance. Okay, one of my favorites, because I don't know, I love to say the word ashwagandha. I think it's fun to say, and when I learned how to spell it, it was even like, I don't know, it's like my favorite to say and to spell, I guess. Ashwagandha root strengthens your body and helps your adrenal glands to cope with and recover from stress. Ashwagandha is great at grounding and is not overstimulated. And our schisandra berry is calming. It's a calming adaptogenic herb popular with traditional Chinese medicine. It helps with depression, irritability, insomnia, and palpitations. And because it's a sedative and a tonic herb at the same time, Schisandra gives your adrenal glands a chance to recover by shutting off your body's stress response and nourishing your adrenal glands back to health without overstimulating them. So when I think of soul to the rescue, the first two things I think of is calming, anything in the calming category, right? And anything that's balancing are the two things I think of when I'm like, stress, what do I need, right? Our two drinks that I immediately go to is Renew and Vital. In fact, like if I'm feeling pretty anxious during the day, I will just drink my Renew during the day, hot or cold, to kind of help calm that anxiety or calm that stress. I also think of our two, essential oil blends, the Calm and the Balance. Of course, the Compass line as well would help. Putting those into the diffuser or putting them, like on my wrists to really kind of help calm things down. And if I think of capsules, I think of Vertizymes. I think so often we kind of think of Vertizymes as like, oh, only if you have like acid reflux or, digestive issues. But Vertizymes is also going to help calm the body and calm your hormones and calm everything down. And of course, we always think of Adaptable as balancing things out and also calming things down as well. So that's what I have for today. And next week, we're going to dive into stress and digestion and what stress does to your overall digestion and how poor digestion stresses your body out. So, any questions, comments, rude remarks? No, I'm just kidding. We can probably stop recording now.